Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. I keep getting quite a lot of questions about the spiral astrology readings that I'm doing and about the system of astrology that I keep using for those readings. So I keep using something which we call true sidereal astrology, but I have to say that this is a system that I'm incorporating together with my 17-year long history of knowing tropical astrology. I'm incorporating the information about constellations and stars that I keep learning right now. I'm incorporating some ancient Egyptian myth and mythology. This is the Real Sky Astrology Tarot by Julie Kuchia Watts, and I'm working also with a system that Karni Tsor has introduced to me, and she has a course which I will link below that you can get through my affiliate link if you want to study this. Karni is an amazing astrologer as well, and she has created a totally kind of different system. It doesn't include 13 constellations, it includes 12 constellations, so Ophiuchus and Scorpio are kind of, put together, but she also pays attention to where the planets are in real position, so she uses the sidereal positioning. I do have a special notebook which I call, Astrology 13 Constellations, where I write down all my findings, and I keep adding and adding this information about the constellations, about the energies of the constellations and how they could possibly point for us how we can work with them, what we are here to develop. I do see this, specifically the reading that I'm offering in True Sidereal Astrology, as a evolutionary reading. So I am fully convinced that Western astrology works, that tropical astrology is great. I still keep using tropical transits, because for earthly matters, it's like a really great system that, connects us to the movement of the sun and how everything related to this movement changes on Earth. And our cycles are also connected to this, because we are of Earth, but we are also of the stars, and that's why I really feel like I miss that constellational aspect to myself. That's how it started. So for a couple of last months I was doing a lot of research, and as I said, I'm making this video because I keep getting a lot of questions how do I do it and what's going on with this true sidereal astrology. So I just want to give you a couple of tips of where you can start checking stuff. So for looking at your true sidereal astrology chart, which comes with 13 constellations that are actually visible on the ecliptic, you can go to Athens Chimenti website, which is called Mastering the Zodiac. I'm going to link it below. He has an option of printing out your free 13 constellation chart. You don't get any degrees and so on, but you can just see what constellations are important for you. So this is one thing that you can do. For people who are a bit more serious like myself and are interested in this side of astrology, you can purchase a program that Athens has created. It's called Prometheus, and it works on Windows. It's created for Windows, but you can use Parallel or some other programs that you can run on your Mac, like I'm running it on my Mac. So this is called Prometheus, and it costed me $175. He had some special on, I think it's ongoing. And there's also an option, a more expensive option with Planetarium, which you can see the stars and constellations on your computer. I'm also using apps like Go Skywatch or Skyview, where you can actually see where the planets are on in the skies, and they astronomical apps. So there is what they show, it's not tropical kind of 30 degrees division of the sky, which is it doesn't really exist, you can't see it, but it shows constellations, and it shows where the planets, what constellations the planets sit in or pass through, And on top of this, because I really want to check how if you manifest with the moon, or if you do anything with the moon changes very quickly. So I found on Etsy a calendar that uses 13 constellations for the moons, particularly because this guy works with spagyrics, and he works with alchemy and with plants and planting. Once he created this calendar, he gives also some transits and so on, where you can find what constellation the moon passes through. As I mentioned, Karnitsor's books and deck, not 13 constellations per se, but she uses a totally different system, which I kind of mix in with the 13 constellation. This deck, which is Box of Stars, very cool, beautiful and easy to use cards. So they maps of the hemispheres, and the handbook, there's quite interesting information on certain constellations. And as I mentioned, Julie's workbook, also the Real Sky Astrology Tarot, where you get also some information on signs. So I'm kind of like mixing all of this in my readings, and because I really heavily also use Karni's system, I love the ideas of the realms. So not just constellations themselves. When you look at the 3D stars that sparkle, I actually imagine there's like a portal frequency that when planets or sun or the moon moves through the constellation, they are activating, or they kind of resonate with this particular part of the skies. And if you have this particular constellation, for example, heavily depicted or heavily activated in your natal chart anyway, this is a good time for you to really take those frequencies on and see how that personally affects you. And I really see this spiral astrology readings, as I see it, truly evolutionary. So it's not something that we see from the earthly perspective, not our personality, not our character per se, but this is like the second us, like something that we developing, something that we evolving, more like kind of achieving some ideal of where we could go, how we could be without the limits of our characters, of our conditioning. So this is actually a reading that shows where you have to put attention, work, effort in order to develop those qualities. It's not something that it's there, oh, I have it, and as I said, sometimes most often you will have a different sun sign, a different moon sign, a different ascendant. Like I shifted from being in Western astrology a Sagittarius, right, which I'm like totally feel, with Leo ascendant, yes please, and with moon in Libra, totally kind of that's me. In that spiral astrology, the evolutionary take, I became a Scorpio, which, like when I started thinking about it, I'm developing this side, like not necessarily needing to be always out there and searching constantly for these new things. And the Scorpio has this beautiful, it's part of the realm of the gate. So it is like a part in my life that I will go through a lot of initiations, and kind of like, I feel like I lived a couple of lifetimes already. I had my Australian lifetime, and I had my UK lifetime, and I had my German lifetime, and I had my Polish lifetime, and now I'm back to the Polish lifetime. There's a lot of things that kind of, a gate is open, I move through it, and it's never the end of the journey, right? But also with Scorpio being so fascinated with death and dying, this is part of something like really, really fascinating. And the more, I hope this drum is not going to be upset that I show it online, but I found this drum kind of, I feel like it came to me as it's Keeper, but it's a very old, I feel like it's a very old drum. I mean, I don't know exactly, but it's a shamanic drum from Nepal or Tibet, and I found this drum in one of on our cell sites here in Poland, and yeah, I felt like it called me, it came to me. I'm working with these weavers now, Oracle through Caroline Hillier's Braided Rivers program, and I was looking for a dark drum, and I'm always fascinated, you know, with the dark drum. And the dark drum belongs to Bear, which is my weaver for this year. And also specifically when I was working with the Storm weaver, she's the fierce one. And that's, I just put in, like, you know, dark shamanic drum, and this came up, and it just came to me. And it was actually also something that I was wondering, you know, should I take it, because I feel like it was used, it's old, I think it was used around the fire. You could see all this, you know, the skin, and it's, you can see it's not perfect. It definitely wasn't made for tourists. Like, it's very old, it lost in parts. Like, it has also these things that are inside. And I read about these drums and these wonderful handles with snakes and with faces for 4 directions. And these shamans used to do healing with this handle. When they drum here, it was, you know, pulling the energy through the handle. They do it around the person, or yeah, it's amazing. And it's not, you know, it feels like it was definitely, like, it's been used. So why am I talking about it and showing it? Because I'm very excited about it, but I feel also like, yeah, I was talking about Scorpio and this fascination with the dark, and with, so this is something that's, maybe it feels like it's not me to the end, but this is something that I'm like pulled towards and investigating and exploring. And then I have Cancer ascendant, which is like the worst I can imagine for myself. But when I actually think about it, and also you have to understand that the constellational meanings are a little bit different to the signs themselves. So the Cancer in the sign in tropical astrology looks a little bit different in the system that I'm offering in the Spiral Astrology reading, that it's not necessarily just the same meaning. So Cancer in this system, it's actually a very much of a teacher's card, and it's about giving the knowledge that, and just sharing what you have learned, what you know, achieved this lifetime. It's in this realm of giving. And Cancer constellation was a very fascinating constellation because it's quite dark, and it was also called a gate of men, where maybe some like teachers were coming through. Or, so yeah, it's a fascinating subject, and I'm doing so much research, and I'm constantly, you know, developing this. So what else do I want to share that you might need? So I shared Athens website. There's a group on Facebook which is called True Sidereal Astrology Revolution, or True Sidereal Revolution, that you can join as well. There's a couple of videos on YouTube that you can search for, not necessarily specifically about like teaching you, but Athens does like weekly forecasts. And there's One Sky Astrology, Michael. He has nice videos and quite informative videos on True Sidereal Astrology. What else? Yeah, you can get a reading from me, which is with the 13 constellations. So this is, I think, I keep doing these readings. Thank you for all the people who purchase this, and I keep getting feedback from people, and I think people are surprised and at the same time quite like taken by this information, because it's not maybe that it's so revealing and you never think about it, but it's something that maybe like nudges you in the taking accountability and responsibility for your evolution and for your choices and for your co-creative power. And this all kind of like ties in. And anyway, recently we laughed with my friends that personal development is for poor people. So this is a joke, but yeah, it kind of sometimes feels like it. So anyway, I hope you appreciate my drum as much as I do. And the Spiral Astrology reading is on special because it's a new offering. So new offering special till the end of April. You can sign up for my newsletter if you haven't yet. You receive a code which takes you to, like, gives you a substantial discount to this reading. So take a look, and if you're interested in this, ask any questions you want to ask, and I try to answer them if I can. And yeah, I hope these readings will be really supportive to people, and I hope they will be helpful, you know, and inspirational, and like resonate with you, so that you can resonate with the stars out there, because we of the earth but also of the stars. Thank you for watching. Bye.